I'm going to give it over to Kevin.
So last week, because of COVID times and all these seasons, this season long, a lot of games in the NHL have been 2 game sets, both being in one arena. So last week, Bruins are playing at home in the TD Garden against the Washington Capitals. We know Alex Ovechkin is the big player on the Washington Capitals. Wednesday night's game, Trent Frederick, Boston Bruins forward, was able to get under Ovechkin's skin enough that Ovechkin gave him a little love tap to the nether regions of Trent Frederick. Frederick obviously goes down. Ovechkin gets a penalty, but because it's Ovechkin, the refs decided to give Frederick a penalty as well because, that's just, it's Ovechkin. We got to protect our boy, got to protect him. Can't have him alone in the box, which is another topic altogether. So then you go to Friday's game last week. And during the game, you have Tom Wilson, forward for the Washington Capitals. He proceeds to see Brandon Carlo, Bruins defenseman, up against the boards playing a puck with his head down. Brandon Carlo's tall guy is about 6'5" or so, big bruising defenseman. And Tom Wilson from about 20 feet away skates in, puts his right shoulder into the left shoulder of Brandon Carlo, and then proceeds to have the right shoulder continue up and hit into the head of Brandon Carlo, crunching the head in between the shoulder and the glass boards. Brandon Carlo's immediately holding his head, going down on his knees. He skated off on his own power, fortunately, but he was ended up taken to a local hospital and he was released overnight. He's still feeling effects today, almost a week later. My biggest problem with this, the hit got no penalty, no penalty called. And you even had the refs stand there and they, they conferenced. So you're thinking, oh, something's going to happen. They're going to give Tom Wilson a major penalty because there's an injury, or they're going to give him a 5 in a game misconduct and he's out. Nothing. They punted on that call. No call given to Tom Wilson. So the start of the second period, Bruins captain Patrice Bergeron has some words with Tom Wilson, along with forward Brad Marchand. I then saw after the game that Bergeron refused to go and say what he said to Tom Wilson. I equate that to knowing that Bergeron is a very diplomatic, upstanding citizen, that he probably told Tom Wilson, button it up or we'll button you up. And they definitely buttoned Tom Wilson up because Ryan Tenorti, I believe, well, forget his first name at the moment, Tenorti, claimed off of waivers, playing in his second game, goes and fights Tom Wilson at towards the start of the second period. Obviously, they both go for 5 minutes for a fighting major. Tom Wilson comes back into the game. Tom Wilson gets to another fight with Trent Frederick, which just popped me pretty big because Trent Frederick is smiling while he's fighting Tom Wilson. Now the refs are saying, okay, we got to do something about this. This is getting out of control. So you're choosing now, after the damage has been done, to actually do something. It's like, just go in the locker room and let the boys play at this point because you guys failed at your jobs. Those are 2 guys that I would just love to go and put back into ref camp or something like that. To not call a penalty on Tom Wilson and to conference and then decide to still not call a penalty, even though it was clearly boarding, clearly roughing, clearly deserved a game misconduct, clearly deserved to be a major penalty. Like the refs let people down in that game. They let the game get to the way it was at the end of the second and third period. Bruins won that game 5-1. They were leading 5-0. That is obviously the best way to go and handle it. They also were a little extra chippy during that game. Last weekend, NHL Player Safety Administration had a in-person meeting, which is how we're having our meeting here through Zoom, due to COVID times. Tom Wilson suspended for 7 games. He chose not to appeal the suspension. You have Washington fans claiming that it was not a dirty hit. You have other fans in the league. No, it was a dirty hit. And Tom Wilson's got a history of doing this. His last suspension being for 20 games. So, congrats to the NHL Players Safety Administration. You guys went and did the right thing by suspending him and kind of helping out a little bit to mitigate this. But it just speaks to the problem with officiating in the NHL, where there are some games where they're on everybody's ass about every last penalty, and then there's other games where, oh, that guy decapitated the other with a stick. Oh well. Okay. Well, the puck's over there. We'll just go watch that instead. Yeah, nothing to see here. Move along, you looky loose. Like, Jesus Christ, what are we doing here, folks? What are we doing here? Why? It just grinds my gears to go and see the most consistent part of a referee's job, being inconsistent, especially when it comes to player safety. I mean, I've gone and seen some of the worst hits uh, to Bruins players, to Flyers players, you name it. I've seen some pretty bad headshots. They changed the rules. They created the safety administration. They're trying to go and help make the game safer. But if you're going to have refs doing what they did last Friday, are you really trying to go and police the game? Because let me tell you something, the players police the game pretty well by fighting. So if you're going to try to police the game with the refs and not have the players fight, but then the refs don't actually police the game, let the players do what they've been doing for years, for hundreds, about 100 years, a little more than that. Let them go. Let them fight. Because you know what? Fighting players, the goons, they have their place, and it's on the fourth line or on the bench doing absolutely nothing until they're called for.
Did it feel good to get that rant out?
Yeah, it felt good. I might have another one later. I'm not sure yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Once we get to baseball talk, Tanya covered it a teeny bit after Todd's question, and I almost went off then.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
Anybody else who has a scheduled rant? Want to get to it now? The way Carl just said that reminds me of like that annoying kid in the back of the classroom who wants to try to like throw something at the teacher. Goes, "I did it!
He sounds like a gremlin.
For some reason, I just kept putting in my head it was an episode of Family Guy way back where Peter's in the classroom for like a parent-teacher conference or open house or what have you, and he's just going, oh, Miss Clifton, 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 Miss Clifton.
Yes, Baldy, the floor is yours.
Yes, Carl, go ahead.
So I've got some major fucking issues with the goddamn Washington football team.
Okay.
Oh
Uh-oh.
boy. Hold on. Okay. Oh, floor is yours. Take it away.
All right.
After 50 fucking years of having cheerleaders, they decide to disband the fucking cheerleaders for goddamn co-ed dancers. Get your fucking goddamn shit straight. Bring back the cheerleaders because that's what people want to see. Not this co-ed bullshit. You goddamn fucking assholes. Wow. And also at the same time, pick a fucking name. I'm done.
Okay.
Well, I don't.
Hijacker,
We
if you're
can cut
watching,
the show here, right? Because I mean, there's nothing better than that one.
Hijacker, if you're watching us or listening to Discord, you could cut Kevin's clip into his own thing. Carl's, not to try to give you more work there, but yeah, Carl's deserves to be his own clip.
Well, I don't know what's worse, losing cheerleaders with that bullshit or being Michael Jordan and going down a hole in Space Jam playing golf.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Johnny.
Uh-oh.
We're going to get to the baseball talk in momentarily, but I have to get this off my chest.
Oh.
And trust me, it's a lot of chest.
Thanks, Ezra.
Oh.
Now, many of us grew up watching the original Space Jam, correct?
Yes.
Or have at least seen it before, correct?
Hey, I actually saw it when I was a kid. Loved the movie. Classic. Instant classic. It was.
Okay. Now, everybody knows they're coming out with Space Jam 2.
Yes.
I think either later this year or early next year. And we all know LeBron James is going to be in it, yada, 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 all that.
Yes.
It came out last week that they're actually cutting somebody from that movie. And they're cutting this person for sexual misconduct.
Ooh la
Now,
la.
I want this to sink into everybody's head there who's watching us on YouTube or listening to us on Discord. They cut somebody from the movie for sexual misconduct. You want to take a guess who?
Pepe Le Pew.
That's right. They cut Pepe Le Pew for sexual misconduct. This whole thing of this cancel culture thing is getting out of hand. Pepe Le Pew has been a character since 1945. And now in 2021, also now it's a bad thing. I'm sorry. What was wrong with him in the 50s, 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s? That now all of a sudden it's an issue? Get your head out of your asses there and realize you're not going to be able to rewrite history like this. There was a comment said last night to me off air at dinner by my dad, and I thought it was a perfect line. He said, what should end up happening, and he was joking by this, with everybody wanting to cancel everything, is cancel the entire history, all that, and just start off next year as year one, with the way that everybody wants history to be. Because apparently you're going to get rid of a character who's been around since 1945. This to me is mind-boggling.
John, when you broke the news to us on our pre-show Zoom meeting on Monday, I could not believe it. I was like, what in the blue hell has gotten into people? Why are we canceling a cartoon character that has never done such shenanigans like this? Give me a break. Come
By the way,
on.
if you saw us on YouTube, I did just chuck a bottle across the room.
Again?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And you know what? While we're on top
Where's
of
it gonna end up
ranting,
this time?
while we're on the topic of ranting for a second, I need to get something on the top of my chest.
Go ahead.
So,
Blind
You can
rant
find it.
time.
if you can find it, Ezra, blind guy rant. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
He's finding it. Hold up.
All right. What?
Yes.
Got it in his sight. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Wait for it or wait for it? I couldn't understand your accent there, Steven.
Anyways, so
Hold on. 1 second.
Yeah, 1 second.
1 second. I'll let you know. He's
Yes,
trying
you
to
will.
find it.
Let's go on with the rant. I'll find it. Don't
all
worry.
right. Anyways, so as you all know, I said in the opening pre-intro before today's show that if you thought that the news in the North American sports couldn't get any crazier, well, I think we just broke the wall with this one, with Dak Prescott getting a 4-year, $160 million contract with the Dallas Cowboys. And yes, he has had some pretty good seasons with the Dallas Cowboys on and off through the years. But last year and the year before, he was complaining about, I need to have a lot of money in me pocket. I need to have this, need to have that. And then last year, he has an injured, shortened season, unfortunately. And then this week, you're going to pay this guy $160 million. And I'm sorry, this guy is not even worth the money he's asking for. What has he done in his career besides lose one playoff game against Green Bay in 2017? They blew the fucking game. Aaron Rodgers throws a game, clutch pass to get the kicker, Mason Crosby, into field goal range to win the game. What have you done, Prescott, besides choke? You haven't done nothing. You're keeping the tradition of the Dallas Cowboys like Tony Romo was doing, giving games away. And now you're asking for all this money. What have you done? You haven't done nothing. You haven't done nothing. You've been sitting on your ass, not making the playoffs for the past 3 seasons. Patrick Mahomes was paid that money. And at first I'm like, why the hell are you paying this guy this kind of money? And then he takes Kansas City to a second straight Super Bowl. So I say it right here, right now, even though they lost their Super Bowl, trying to repeat as champions, Patrick Mahomes is worth the money. Dak Prescott, you, my friend, are worth a literal piece of shit. You are nothing. Nothing. You will do nothing. You're overrated. You will fail with the Dallas Cowboys because you think you're all that in a bag of chips. You have other great players on that team, like Elliott, like Cooper. You are nothing. You will fail, you greedy bastard.
Ezra?
I have one more little rant in me.
Hold on a second. Ezra gets the rant tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, this is right.
Oh, great. What should I rant about? Because I'm the nicest human being on the face of the planet. As evident by my jokes to Steven and them. To be honest with you, the one thing I could rant about would be something that's been bugging me for like almost 15 years now. And that's the inconsistency of the Bears organization to find a quarterback. Give me a break. You had some good quarterbacks. You had Kyle Orton, who wasn't that bad. You had Rex Grossman, who took us to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
What do? You trade him away for the king of interceptions, Mr. Jay Cutler. A man who goes to throw his toilet paper in his shopping cart and he gets picked up by the shopper next to him. Are you kidding me? It took us nearly a decade to fix the problem? Are you kidding me? And then we got Trubisky. And Trubisky, I had faith in the guy. But then when I realized he's too scared to throw the damn ball,
right?
And when he tries to run, he gets some good results, but half the time he fumbles too. I mean, he did butt fumble like Mark Sanchez, but I digress. Anyways, the Bears organization has got to get their head out of their ass and realize that you can have as many good defensive players, you can have as many offensive linemen as you want. It takes more than one section to build a team. That's something you guys have been talking about for weeks, months now, on all fronts. And that is that we need a better quarterback, a guy who has all the tools, who can run, who can read plays, who can read open lanes and screens, and also who can run efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Like what the fuck? Like we look in all these places, we find these guys who either can't throw, can't run, don't know how to throw to their own team, or throw in the end zone to the other team. Give me a break. Come on, get your head out of your asses. Think right. Get us a quarterback that can get us somewhere, instead of us being the laughing stock of the NFC North.
Okay. I have one more thing to say.
Now your turn, Johnny.
And we'll get to Major League Baseball. I know we're going on overtime tonight, but at this point, I mean, evidence of the fact I threw a freaking bottle across the room.
Again.
The time really doesn't matter tonight. Now, we've been talking a lot about the NFL tonight, bits and pieces. And there was a thing that came out from NFL.com.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Giants may pass on Saquon's option. Now, I want to read this first. General Manager Dave Gettleman says the team will have to see Saquon Barkley healthy first, with so much unknown about his durability before picking up his fifth-year option. Now, I understand the mentality. You don't want to pay the guy a lot of money because you don't know what you're going to get from him. But just think about this. For the New York Giants, the Eli era is over.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, who's the face of this franchise? I'm being dead serious right now. Who's the face of this franchise?
Nobody.
But it could be Saquon. I said it could. And the fact that you're going to sit there and possibly decline his option and possibly get rid of him, I'm sorry. You have somebody here who's basically a quasi Hall of Famer. Not saying he's a first ballot, but he'll definitely get to Canton at some point. You're gonna let him walk out the fucking door? Are you stupid, New York Giants? I think this is mostly the gentleman. I'm getting a lot of heat tonight with New York sports. Holy crap. Gentlemen,
What?
if you're listening to this and you can see my face, think this thoroughly. Because you get rid of Saquon, just hand in your retirement papers right now, old man. Because you're done.
All right.
all I have
So
to say.
okay. Okay. Hold on.
Or we try to top each other's rants?
No, now that you brought up Barkley, I want to ask you guys in here, do you think that if he does not get injured, could he be considered a Hall of Fame caliber player?
Absolutely, because I've said it a while now. I think he's Barry Sanders of the modern age.
Kevin?
I mean, he's only in what was this? Was this year 2 for him or year 3?
Year 3.
Year 3, and he got hurt. I mean,
Yeah.
Let's go and see what year 4 looks like, because we all christen Ezekiel Elliott as the next Walter Payton, as the next Gale Sayers, the next Emmitt Smith, and look what he's done really since. He's really not done much. So let's maybe give it a year when he's back healthy and maybe with a competent offense. One that doesn't have Daniel Jones as the quarterback is optimal, but that's neither here nor there at this point.
Carl?
Hell, if the Giants want, they could take Cam Newton. They could take Cam Newton. Just take him. Just take him.
Johnny wants
Just
to say
take 'em.
something. Go right to John.
Oh boy.
Just take him. I don't want him. I
Why
don't want
the
him. And if
fuck
the
would we
Patriots go
take him?
inside Cam Newton
He's
again,
injury prone and he sucks ass.
no, the Giants could have him. I don't want him anymore.
No.
If the
We don't
Patriots
want
go
him.
and re-sign
We-
Cam Newton, I'm done.
We don't
I'm done
want
watching.
him. Kevin, listen to me. I'm talking for Giants fans right now. We don't want him.
I don't care. Take him.
Let's give it to the Jets, not to us.
God, the Jets have enough misery. The Giants need to share in it.
No.
They had Eli. That was the misery there.
No. Kevin. Is your head filled with New England clam chowder?
Your head's filled with Flex Seal, John.
Seriously, we don't want him. He can't play. He sucks. At least Daniel Jones, we can work around him. Good guy. You're trying to get the Jaguars in there, kid.
This is the guy that on national TV who had clear shot at the end zone and he got tripped up by a ghost. I don't know.
Oh, and none of we did.
Okay, hold on.
Tackled by the ghost of
hold on.
Eli Manning or Mark Sanchez tasting butt meat in a fumble.
Hold on. Hold on,
Holy
John. John,
Wow.
hold on. Hold your horses. Okay, so we're talking about Cam Newton here, and Kevin's onto something here. Cam Newton had a chance to get that fumble with Carolina against the Broncos in the Super Bowl when they lost 24-10. You mean to tell me that when a ball goes down and you fumble it and you're not going to have the balls to jump on it, it's the Super Bowl. Cam Newton is a disgrace. He is overrated. He had one really good season. Otherwise, what has he done? To me, he's done nothing. So Dirk, go take her.
The only thing he's done right is dress like a goddamn girl.
The only thing I know how to do is be Superman. I'm a Valkyrie as Superman. I'm going to have my cape on. I'm going to do whatever I can to be me.
Hold on. Time out for a minute. First of all, I gotta say you are right, Steve. You are right on that. Number two, why do you sound like Mr. Beaker from the Muppets?
Hold on. I just
we're
pulled up
going
his career
crazy.
numbers here. He has his touchdown interception is 190 to 118. He has a completion percentage of 60.1. He has a passer rate of 85.8. Yes, he rushes for a lot. Congratulations. But the Giants want to be a good team, not a team that sucks for 30 fucking years. Look at the Jets.
So many
Right.
F-bombs.
Holy crap.
And the glasses come off. Perfect.
Is it safe to say I have a lot of anger?
Yeah,
Oh.
chink.
Yeah, no, I think it's safe to
Oh,
say.
that was
I mean-
phenomenal. A Boston and a New York guy fighting over a quarterback that sucks.
Oh my.
Quarterback that neither one wants. Like, I'm
Give it
sorry.
to the Jets.
No, look, they have Sam Darnold. They could have had Trevor Lawrence if they, knew how to lose.
Oh,
Look,
Oh.
Cam Newton, I was excited last season. I figured, hey, look, it's another MVP quarterback. He played in the Super Bowl. He's
He
pretty good. The
sucked.
shoulder might be a bit of a problem. Oh, it was more than a bit of a problem. It was a big, big problem. He was throwing at players' feet more often than Tom was because he didn't have a receiving core. And Cam didn't have a receiving core.
Hold on, Statman. I want you to realize one thing. You want him to come to the Giants. The way he plays, he won't make it in New York. You think
Perfect for him.
You think he
Yeah.
got eviscerated
The
in New
Giants and
England?
Jets suck.
And you know what? This is payback for 2007 and 2011.
Oh, grow the
All
hell
right?
up! Grow the hell up! I knew
Okay.
that boss was coming. Grow the hell
Right,
up!
man.
Hey,
Seriously.
look, the only reason the Patriots lost 2007, the other day I saw a tweet
Because
that
of the
said that,
goddamn fucking helmet catch.
well, that too. But the
Oh,
other day I went and saw a
boo-hoo-hoo.
tweet that went and said, sports fans have great mental health. Oh, that is such bullshit. Are you kidding me? For years, I have gone and said the reason the Patriots lost in Super Bowl 42 and are the worst 18-1 team in existence is because they felt they were so good after the AFC Championship game that they elected to have a local high school team represent them in the Super Bowl, and that's why the Giants lost.
Stop
I had myself
complaining.
convinced of
You
that
guys
for
have
years
won
to get over
6
that
Super
loss.
Bowls. Stop fucking complaining.
Man,
Love
I'm
it.
gonna
man,
complain.
man, I gotta say, this rant segment has blown up more than Jason Pierre-Paul's fingers.
Holy shit. Kevin, stop complaining. You guys won 6 fucking Super Bowls.
You took 19-0 away.
Oh, boo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love
And
it.
he's throwing shit still.
It's gonna be almost 11 by the time we get to the
Oh,
get
dear
to
Christ.
the
Dear
NL
Christ.
Central.
Dear Christ, this is as long as the Tool album, or when they made their last album. It took them 13 years.
No.
Wait,
Hold on.
wait. There was a good Tool album.
Hey,
We want another rant
watch it.
Academy.
Oh,
Get to the
here we
baseball
go.
talk right now. Texas Rangers. Are you guys run by idiots? Keep the politics out of this for a second. It was announced yesterday or a couple days ago, that when Texas opens up their stadium, it will open up to 100% capacity. And I looked at their numbers. They hold roughly over 40,000 people. I don't give a shit if it's mask or no mask or underwear, no underwear. I don't care. 40,000 people when we're still in the middle of a fucking pandemic. Are you kidding me? 20, 30%? Okay, fine. The one thing New York's getting right here. But Texas, really? Full 40,000 people? Jesus Christ.
And and I completely get what you're coming from, and I see why they decided to do this when the entire state opened up. And that is the reason that it's not even the reason that people want to come to a game. It's the fact that people need to work, and I completely get this is out politics aside, all this stuff. This is not a smart move at all, and I get that because it's still
Dude,
new
their
to
numbers are still increasing every day.
Yeah, and like I said, I agree, and with everything, it's just too soon, and I understand people have got to work. I understand, from the concession guys to the janitors to the popcorn vendor to the beer vendor. I get that they got to work, they got to make money. The stadium's got to make money. The organization's got to make money.
Okay,
But what's people need to make money, but then also you're putting people's lives at risk when not even a third of the state has been fully vaccinated yet.
Here's the
It's
thing.
it's not a smart move, you know.
I just pulled up the cases in Texas right now. As of March 10th, they have 5,350 new cases, and the 7-day average is up. It's up now to 4,909. Texas, if you're listening to me, and I feel like I said this on a broken record tonight, get your head out of your ass. Realize that this pandemic is not over yet, and cut back now before it's too late. Because you get to April, May, June, and July, especially come June and July, once school's done and you have full capacity, don't be surprised if the numbers go back up in Texas.
I'm waiting for that phone to go flying.
Don't worry, it'll happen.
Holy crap.
I think before
All
that
right.
happens, we should maybe segue into what we want to talk about with baseball before John has an aneurysm. And I have one too from laughing hard at John having an aneurysm.
By the way,
That was a nice segue into what we're fixing to actually talk about.
hold on. One last thing I just want to hijacker.
Maybe they can seal the aneurysm with Flex Seal.
If you want to cut up me going like a crazy man, go right ahead. Go ahead.
To be even better, if he wants to cut up the entire or whatever 40
Rant.
of
Just
a-
put up just all the rants together. That's perfect.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I'm really letting out a lot of anger.
Turn me up. Turn me up.